The Nightcap Chat Podcast. Your home for pop culture related nonsense. Only on the Nightcap Chat Network. Grab your nightcap and settle in. Here are your hosts.
Welcome back to Nightcap Chat. Today we are talking our favorite sci-fi movies that are not Star Wars and Star Trek. I'm Blade O'Neill.
I'm Ken Brown.
I'm Lassen O'Neill.
I'm Steve O'Neill.
And of course, before I dive into it, I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to listen, like, share, and subscribe to Nightcap Chat. Without you guys, we would not be here. So I appreciate you. And thanks for bearing with us through July. We didn't record in July. July was just a busy, crazy month. Anyway, no excuses, but it was. But Ink and Paint came in and they got us covered. And if you've, for those of you who are subscribed and are already listening, you'll see we have a new show that has joined the fold called The Newsweek, and I'll let Steve describe what that is.
The Newsroom. And
the newsroom. What did I say? Newsweek. Yeah, I totally screwed that up.
Scratch that. No, it's just host Steve O covers all entertainment related news that we need to know on a other week basis. He's just a really good host and can pick up these obscure stories and then no random nonsense to grill you on. So it's an every week story, every other week show about whatever's popular happening in media today.
All right, cool. And there it is. And you'll find that exclusively on the Nightcap Chat Network. Yes.
I just love that. Yes, this is the show.
This is the show. That's it. Sorry, I'm so disjointed right now. I've gotta mark this.
Do the Zoom sound right now. Zoom, like you just figured it out.
Yeah, we'll transition. Here's our smooth transition. You ready? We're gonna transition this really smoothly.
God, I love that sound.
So fresh in transition.
I wish I could just play that in my everyday life.
Oh,
I make a good dinner and it's just like
zoom. Yeah, exactly.
You
got something 100% accurate in an argument. You're like, I just told you that. Whoa. Yep. Boom. And then you just disappear out of the room. I love that. Yeah, I agree. By the way, it's good to be back, Blade. This is so stupid.
Good. Yes. Yeah. Well, that's what Nightcap Chat's here. That's why Nightcap Chat is here. For this stupidity, right? The nonsense. That's our branding now. Your pop culture related nonsense. Speaking of nonsense, fun little topic. I don't know who should go first because this was actually really hard when I think it was, I don't know, was it Ken who first suggested it? So the sci-fi movies that were in Star Wars, and I was like, do I like any sci-fi movies that are not Star Wars and Star Trek? And I've come to the conclusion that not really, and especially based on my list. So I think this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I kind of have the same. I was kind of almost surprised when I was going through the list of sci-fi movies. I was like, meh,
Yep,
like
too.
it was just so much just
Whoa.
blah. Because a lot of times they're just not. They're just kind of cheesy. Not great. They're never rarely ever written well. It's just kind of lots of flashy
just like all the ones on my
nonsense.
list.
So yeah, it's kind of it was kind of tough, at least for me, if you're talking non Marvel, Star Wars.
So who's gonna kick this off? I think Ken should kick this off because this was his idea. So you're jonesing for something here.
Dude, there's tons of good sci-fi movies that aren't Star Wars and Star Trek. At first, I was kind of going, man, this is going to be some time for me to think about. And then I was just kind of okay, let me refresh my brain a little bit and look at a top 100 list and see if I agree. And there's 80 movies on there I never heard of, which is kind of crazy to think whoever put this list together is okay, yeah, I think I'm an old timer, but I'm nowhere near an old timer as much as some of these people that put together these lists. And, but there were some cool things that brought back memories. And I mean, how deep do you want me to go? Because I have 20 on my list, but I ranked my 10. But then I don't even want to go to 10. I can go even lower than 10. Do you know what I mean? What do you want me to do for you guys?
Start with one, but let's start with a good one.
My good one is my favorite one. Both me and my wife's favorite movie is Fifth Element.
Oh, yes! There goes mine.
Yes, dude.
That was one of the only three on my list.
Yeah,
our ultimate couples movie. Like that's the one movie both me and Susan agree on is our favorite sci-fi movie. And so I call that's our like our movie. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not just like my movie, it's like both me and my wife's movie. And that movie, I mean, Bruce Willis, you know, I mean, Chris Tucker, Mila Jovovich, I mean, just everything about that movie captured the beauty of sci-fi. I mean, it had those Star Wars elements. It had those Star Trek elements. I mean, it had Indiana Jones elements to it. It was, I said too, like 5 elements easily. I think it could be 10 to 15 elements of greatness about that movie if you really want to define what I feel is my favorite sci-fi movie outside of the Star Wars, Star Trek universe. So I'll keep it short and let you guys move on.
Popsicle.
The what?
Negative.
A meat popsicle?
Identify as a meat popsicle. You know, if you rewatch that film, you could really like. There's a lot of things that, as of 2022, you could be like, "Oh wow, I could see how the world's coming to this point."
Yeah.
Especially with the multipass.
Yeah, multipass.
I've seen Fifth Element so times because it seems like it's always on TV. Like especially like growing up as a kid, you know, like you stay home sick. Fifth Element was on. You know, it was like Wheel of Fortune and Fifth Element. And seriously, and because that was the way I watched it, like every viewing, I don't think I've ever said, you know what, I'm going to turn on Fifth Element. It was just on TV and I turned it on. And because of that, I always missed the first like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't until just a few years ago that I caught that. And I was like, what is this?
You mean the beings walking into the temple?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
These light.
I've
Right?
easily seen this movie 100 times, no exaggeration.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the last few times that I realized there was this intro. Obviously, you don't need it, but
No.
it was just
It's
surprising that it was there.
I've seen Shawshank Redemption probably 1,000 times. Seen the beginning maybe 20 times. I mean, it's not even remotely close. Like
Because it was on TV?
it's always it's the most played movie on TV history. But to your point, I never catch it until the first like 10 or 15 minutes. I've missed the beginning part with him in the rain every time. So I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm. And it's quotable. I
So
mean,
quotable.
And
really,
very cosplay worthy. You always see Leelus
Absolutely.
running around. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And
there's a
and I know
Twi'lek in it too. The opera singer's a Twi'lek.
Twilight. Yep.
Sure, yes.
I
Oh,
get-
yes, and that's a
Yeah.
and that's something you could just listen to, right?
Yes.
Like that's you can totally like drive
make me do that
around,
again.
you know, and just like that's the good
Yeah,
stuff.
dude.
You know, of course,
just
the
a fun
best
movie.
thing to come out of Fifth Element, right? I've said this before on Nightcap Chat, was Bruce Willis got hurt and they had to stop production.
Oh, really?
And
I
the
didn't even know that.
director,
Luc Besson.
right? He made one of the greatest movies of all times while
Leon.
waiting for Bruce Willis to recover. Was Leon the Professional?
Yeah.
So the best thing to
Wow.
come out of Fifth Element was they created Leon the Professional while waiting for Bruce Willis to recover.
Which, on a side note, was on a shoestring budget, like nothing. It was like a passion project he did out of his pocket. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the best.
Yep, it's incredible.
Chris
Right.
Tucker, by the way. was
Chris
great.
Tucker, absolutely.
Yes.
He's-
1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4. That was great.
Yep.
When he shoots the alien with his gun. I was like, oh, sorry, my man. Wait. We would be remiss if we didn't
yeah.
mention Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once
Gary
again.
Oldman's in
Yeah.
it too.
Once. Yeah.
With his half
Where
skull.
are the stones?
Yep.
Yes.
Where are the stones?
Where are the stones?
You guys are.
You guys just made me thought of another movie I need to have on my list now. Damn it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. I don't.
Go
I
ahead.
don't want to talk about it too much. But
That's
is there any other comments on the Fifth Element?
Well, I mean,
before
to
we
be
move
fair,
on?
it was
Hold
like
on.
in my list and your list, Blade.
That's true. That's
It
true.
was
It's
so,
only
like,
And my
Cool.
predicted list for all of you.
Yeah.
Can you guys agree it's a great movie?
That's
or am I just
fantastic.
like
Oh, it's one of my
overplaying
favorite
it?
movies of all
It's-
time.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic, even though like it's not that great if you're
No,
being
as a
unbiased.
matter-
No, it's not.
As a matter
It's
of fact,
popcorn movie. It's totally a popcorn movie.
every year they do I think it's the Raspberries, the best bad movie, and that wins every single year because it's not really a bad movie. It's not at all,
No.
but it kind of is. I guess Blade, you say it's not great, but it always gets the award for the best bad movie of all time. They have like an award, a jokey award for it
It's
every
just-
year.
It's just very basic, you know. It's just very bland, like the way it's written. I mean, but luckily between Bruce Willis and Gary Oldman and Mia Jovovich and
Chris
gosh,
Tucker.
what's his name? Who plays
All-
Chris Tucker? I was thinking of the old guy, the priest.
Yeah, you're right.
It's Bilbo,
shaking with
Billy.
Yep.
Bill. What?
And plus
Oh
Luke
my
Perry.
gosh.
The
Ian
past
Holm?
Luke Perry. Was
Ian
Ian
Holm.
Holm. Why was I saying Bill? Yes, thank you, Ian Holm.
And I agreed with you when you said Bill because I thought you were onto something. I'm like, yeah.
I thought so,
yeah,
too.
Yeah. Nope. I don't know
Yeah,
what you
it was
mean.
Bill. He looks like a Bill.
That's true.
What?
I was so hung up on Lord of the Rings, but it's quotable. Like, it's the way the lines were delivered. Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it, right? Multi-pass. I mean, how often, Lance, just in casual conversation, do we quote like The Fifth Element? Like that's
All the
just
time.
one that's
Mhm.
it's a low-hanging fruit.
So I said, dude, that was the easy pick for me for number one.
I have a similar movie, so I feel like the transition will be good. It's a bad movie
Okay.
that's like awesome
We can
and
trans-
quotable. It's like the same thing.
I
Yeah.
hate these sound
Um,
effects.
Can I guess what it is?
Sure,
for
if
it,
you want
never
to. I could give a hint.
Let's go.
I could give you an actor.
Okay. Who's the actor?
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, that's my
Ooh.
other movie.
Judge Dredd?
You dread?
No,
Yes,
but I thought about it.
okay. There. Well, that was.
Was that yours, Blade?
That's the fourth thing I added to my list was Judge Dredd.
Oh, mine's Demolition Man.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
that was the
That was
third
on
thing.
one of my lists too.
It's kind of
Demolition
cool.
Man's great. The three
Yeah.
seashells. Wesley
Taco
Snipes is
Bell.
awesome in it. Taco Bell. They
Everything's
make fun
about
of
Taco
Arnold
Bell.
Schwarzenegger becoming president of the United States.
Yes.
You
Sandra
guys,
Bullock, of course, is great in it.
you guys like that '90s sort of over the top
Like
nonsense?
comedy nonsense.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
kind of
Yeah.
see
You
where
know what
your
it is?
lists
I
are.
think it's because
easy.
it's
It's easy to watch.
It's common. It's because those movies are funny. You're not like, oh, this script's terrible. Like, at least it's like it knows it's not that serious.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of the other sci-fi movies, they try to be so serious, but it's like, yeah, but this sucks.
What a
something to be
brilliant
s-
explanation.
There's something to be said about when a movie's just like, yeah, we know this is gonna be great, but like this is funny and fine, right? But when this movie's like, yeah, super serious, but I'm like, yeah, this kind of sucks though, so whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Transformers movies. Oh, sorry.
Well,
I don't know. I'm gonna
first one
offend a
was
lot of
good.
people by saying that, but
The first one was good.
Yeah,
The rest of them, whatever.
yeah.
But
Yep.
Blade, what's your feelings on Demolition Man? Since I know I stole one from you.
I loved it. I miss another one. It's on TV. Like, oh, how do you not turn on Demolition Man? It's just good old Sylvester Stallone nonsense. And I love Wesley Snipes. My name is Blade. I love Blade. Like, how could I not have gotten into Wesley Snipes? Like, Blade got me into Wesley Snipes, and I had a little kick there where I kept watching Wesley Snipes movies. And to be quite frank, he's done some terrible movies. Like, I caught some ones and they were just bad. There was this one where he was like cheating on his wife, and like I'm not even sure what the plot was. But I also came across White Men Can't Jump. That was pretty
Oh,
good. But anyway,
love
I'm
that movie.
going off on a tangent. Demolition Man is just one that's fun, and I get it mixed up with Judge Dredd sometimes because like I saw those for the first time kind of close together, and they have that same kind of feel almost.
Yeah, oh, very much so. That's why I say that all of those have the same kind of feel, which
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know this is going to end up being a 6-hour show, so I'm going to try to keep this question very short. Did you guys not see the new Dread with Carl Urban?
That was
I
good
definitely,
too.
Okay,
definitely saw that.
there
was
we go.
awesome.
Making sure that everyone has seen that because that is so much better. It's freaking fantastic.
the law.
There we go.
I am the law.
All right.
And
I'm just making
Carl
sure.
Urban got shafted, by the way. Like that was franchisable, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
fact that
Oh,
no
yeah.
one picked that up
Damn
is
right.
unacceptable. Like especially with the current state of comic book movies, like we
Yes.
really need some good indie movies. Like it's time to bring
Yep.
back that Dread. We need to get in on some Witchblade. MGM just lost the rights to Tomb Raider. Let's get a good Tomb Raider. I know that's a video game, but still, I consider it also. Anyway, reel me back in here. Roll me back in. You're gonna.
Just give it
Gonna-
time. It'll come back, Blade. It'll be there.
I'm gonna get started. Demolition. It's fun. It's funny.
Mhm.
It's easy to watch, and like Lance said, it's not something you take too seriously. You just
No.
You just enjoy it, and it's Sylvester Stallone, so you know what you're getting into, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. All right, so who's going next? Because
should we talk about Judge Dredd for a second, since we already
someone got that on their
brought it up?
list?
Yeah.
And it's on my list.
Yeah. Okay. The Sly one.
The Sylvester Stallone
Okay.
and oh gosh, what's the bad guy? It's Armand Asante, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is the
For
bad?
sure.
Oh, I must be a judge. He's another great actor. I feel like he hasn't done enough. Like he's good. You know, that was 90s comic book movies, right?
It was. That's exactly the tone.
But that's as good as they got.
Yeah.
What before 2000? Okay, hold on. Before Blade, what was a better comic book movie than Judge Dredd?
I don't think there was one.
Before Blade?
The Punisher was horrible.
Before Blade.
Batman?
The Dolph Lundgren. Oh, Batman,
Okay.
maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
Batman, yeah.
Okay. Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah, Tim
is
Burton's
number one,
Batman.
then Judge Dredd.
What about the Christopher Reeve Superman going way back, but then that's not even the same era.
No,
right?
it's a
Yeah.
different. I don't know. I would well said, but I would still. Yeah. Why am I just?
Yeah, the
making
90s,
sounds?
you're right, dude. It's just like it was Batman and then Judge Dredd.
That was
Yeah.
literally it. Yeah.
Because
The
otherwise
Punisher
you're
was
talking
horrible. The
like,
Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
well, that was 89.
Was that 89? It was that
I
far
think so.
back. Wow.
Right on
okay.
right on the cusp.
By the way, isn't it funny that we're talking about Dolph Lundgren and Stallone when now they're at an actual beef in real life together right now? It's really
Really?
Are they?
Over what?
You guys don't read it? Well,
Who has bigger
no.
biceps?
these I don't know. They're both massive.
Dolph Lundgren probably.
Yeah.
Stallone got so small. He's not that big anymore.
Well, good. He's got to trim up. He's like 104 now. But Sly just called him out because they are destroying the Creed franchise. And he literally just called him out by name and said he's a parasite for not telling me earlier that they were going to wreck the movie that we created together. So it's funny that they're together, but they were together in Rocky and now they're no bueno.
And
Wow.
Expendables.
And Expendables, you're right. Which was so freaking good and stupid. I actually, it's one of my favorite dumb movies. That's one on there. I like that movie.
Well, that recaptured the same sort of stupidity, except I would argue it took it a step up because Mickey Rourke rolls in there on the first one, and then he's like, he has like this serious monologue, and he's the only one with like this great performance, and it's just like, oh wow, like Mickey Rourke's a better actor than all of you combined.
Oh yeah, and that was right after he just won an Oscar. But anyway,
Oh,
all right, who's up next?
You, Steve.
You.
Okay, so I want to say something about this list because
Oh boy.
the net of sci-fi is so huge. I had to go through, and I'm going to show you guys. I was taking notes since very early. So I have a list that I've been keeping of my favorite. I don't care. I don't know what that was. Was that a trash bag or a race car?
It's a drum roll.
Whatever it is.
and that was an accident. I'm sorry.
So here's what I did to come up with this list. I've had a list going of my favorite movie of every year since I've been alive, right? So then I went down that list and I whittled those down to my top 5 favorite, what I would consider sci-fi. But here's what I wanted to run you guys through the list of: time travel, space, aliens, funny sci-fi comedies, artificial intelligence, and anything with a Terminator. That's a lot. That's a huge net of sci-fi movies. So here's my list, because any of these things could be wildly taken out of context. My number 5 is not, we're going to talk about it very long, is Creature from the Black Lagoon. And then number 4 would be E.T. Okay, so let's get into
E.T. on my list.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get into some real ones here. My number 3, and I know it's not a list, but Ken, I can't not do it in order because my ADD is Jurassic Park. That's sci-fi, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. That's on my list too.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, Jurassic Park 1. Every one of the other ones are gone. Doesn't matter. I don't care. JP 1, one of the greatest experiences of my entire life.
Yep.
One of the most.
So
First
much
movie I
you
saw
talked
in
about there at the
theaters.
panel. I
Yep.
mean, just that was perfect for movie theaters movie. And that was the first time I was ever shook in a movie theater. Like when the dinosaur stepping, feeling my chair shake with no magic virtual reality type of thing happening in my chair.
literally, not metaphorically.
Yeah, like literally, like feeling the chair shake underneath me from the base of those dinosaur steps is just like burned in my brain for the rest of my life.
That was the only movie I think that I saw that I hid my face.
Yes, I love it when people say
know,
that.
dude.
Wait, Ken, didn't I say that like
But
on the
to be
panel?
fair,
Or
I was like-
supposed to.
Yes.
When I saw it, I was like 5,
No.
so I mean, I was so scared.
Dude, it happened to me when I was 23, and I was like, what am I hiding my face for? But I love it when people have that reaction. But yeah, so Jurassic Park, Blade. I mean,
You know, I mean, like I said, it's the first movie I saw in theaters. I've only seen it a couple of times. I barely remember it, honestly. Like I remember
interesting.
I don't know, when they first go out there and like I spared no expense and all that, and you know, like I saw the second one more.
Well, Vince
than I
Vaughn?
did-
When they attack San Diego.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, you said Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, Vince Vaughn is in it. He's the one that's over. He's the photographer in Isla Nublar.
It was before I knew who Vince Vaughn was.
I think
so
it was
don't
his
remember
first
that as
big
Vince Vaughn.
breakthrough, and it was him and Julianne Moore. So there's a lot of A-list actors in that movie.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
I've
had
seen,
no idea he was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
he's
seen
the
second one
photographer.
more
Yeah.
than the first one, which I enjoy. But I mean, like
Okay.
I mean, cinematically, I mean, like look at the time period we're talking about. I mean, even though they were practical effects, I mean, they were legit, you know, and like
Oh,
and we
ridiculous.
almost don't do enough of that,
No.
you know, anymore. It's like it's becoming a lost art, I think, and there should be no shame in doing practical effects because my goodness, you know, look what it almost would seem like the kind of thing that should have been beneath someone like Spielberg to do, but I mean, if he didn't do it, would it be as good as it was?
I could go on for about an hour because I know a lot about this story. I wrote part of my thesis about it.
Wow.
But yeah, he had a weird vision. And if you ever want to go and see how funny Jurassic Park was supposed to be, it was
Really?
up until the last week, it was supposed to be claymation.
Oh,
The
no.
dinosaurs were supposed to be claymation, and he could not sign off on it until they came out with what's called Light Magic, whatever his company is,
Industrial
ILM. When they came out with this new technology to rapid fire CGI images onto a screen in a way that worked in conjunction with practical. So it was the very first time you ever saw it. He was the pioneer in that, because literally you could go and see, just go and Google it. It's on YouTube. It was supposed to be claymation. And he was like, I can't release this. This doesn't look real.
That would have been the worst movie of all time.
Horrible.
Period.
Yeah.
Because
So-
especially just for me, because like and Blade claymation, like I hate claymation as it is. And then
Yeah,
you're gonna
you
make it,
guys-
like a scary.
yeah.
It would have been like this is the worst movie of all time. Not even close.
So, can I give you guys one bit of massive trivia on this? And I used to talk about this on the other shows. I used to do a show about Steven Spielberg because he's my favorite filmmaker. Did you know that Jurassic Park was supposed to be written? Well, the book was obviously by Michael Crichton, but for the screenplay and adapted to by James Cameron as a rated
Wow.
R film. And the script was written and done and ready to go because no one objected to the purchasing rights of Michael Crichton's book until this is documented. 11:58 p.m. the night that was open, Spielberg said, we're going to make a rush at it. And DreamWorks Pictures, at the time a nobody, pretty much bankrupted their payroll on buying the rights, and they ousted him within like minutes. James Cameron did nothing but say hateful things about Spielberg for the next 6 months because he just took away his project until he saw the first screening. And then James Cameron, the director of Aliens, came back and said, I take back everything I said. Dinosaurs are meant for kids. I was going to make it like Aliens for adults, an R-rated, horrible, terrifying film. Aliens are okay for adults. Dinosaurs are for kids. How cool is that for him to say? And now he says he's a massive fan and glad he didn't get the rights. But this is all very documented in statements and interviews. I just think it's so fascinating that James Cameron, well, I would do anything to see a James Cameron one, but I wouldn't prefer it to Spielberg's. What we saw was perfection.
Well, just the class that James Cameron had about the whole situation too, of like that. Yeah, you know what? You guys are right. After seeing this, you thought of something I never even thought of, and it worked 10 times better than I had been imagined. That's freaking awesome
Yeah.
to hear. I mean, I don't know if it's obviously embellishing on his words, but that's how I'm thinking in my head when I hear stories like that.
Sorry to rant about that. I just thought it was a cool story. Like,
That's really that's
an awesome
interesting.
story.
I had no idea.
can you
That
imagine
is-
what
that is-
what it would look like? I mean, give me that. I would
Yeah.
love to see that script. Because if you
It
know
sounds
the
like it was like
if you
the
know the
person
book,
trying to make Winnie the okay. I
a lot
apologize. Go ahead.
more people die in the book than they do in the movie. Like it's gruesome what happens in the book, and he wanted to really follow. Imagine like really bad raptors, like they were already
Yeah.
bad, but like really bad. It's just fascinating that it could have gone a totally different direction.
Yeah, it sounds like the person trying to make Winnie the Pooh into a horror movie.
Yes. Anyway, sorry for the long-winded answer, but my number 3 on my list is Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Very good choice.
I dig it. I dig it. I only have one left, so
Do you want to
I know
go
Ken's-
just so that way yours doesn't get taken?
no, there's no way. If mine gets taken, I would bet money this one.
Mac and me.
I
No?
don't even know what
Wally.
that is.
What?
Whoa.
What? Oh my God. Okay, well, that's hilarious. I love it.
Wally, is
Yeah,
that your
so
next
Wally?
pick, Ken?
Is that the next pick? No, is that your pick, Wally?
No.
Okay, I'm just.
Oh my
So we
God.
never guessed.
Wait,
So I'm
see,
just
I
guessing
didn't
left
even have a
field.
section.
I see what you're saying. Okay, got it.
Something we would never guess. Like, so like that Wally. I don't. You
Got
know.
it.
I mean,
Okay,
that's
let
as
me-
left
let
field as I
me-
get.
Let me rephrase it. It's probably
Oh my God. The
no.
suspense
You know, what?
is
I'll
killing
give it
me.
away if I
Oh my
allude to
God.
it too much.
My
So-
number 1 and 2 are very easily guessable, so please save yours till the end
Well,
because this is
Ken's got a
annoying
list
me.
of 20, so maybe
Rattle some
Ken
off.
Should,
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
crush some off. Let's do this.
We're talking to you, Ken.
Ken, baby.
Oh. Well, okay. Cool, dude. I thought it was like I'm still waiting for Blades, dude.
No, that's
My
what I'm
number-
saying. Can't wait.
My number 2 was Back to the Future franchise. I mean,
Okay.
hands down, like that's science fiction at its best. I mean, you're not only hitting the past, the present, and the future. You know, I mean, you're seeing things that are just fun to imagine and not too far fetched. They didn't go off the rails with the future thing too much. I mean, I still hard to believe that 2005's now 17 years ago
Mhm.
from where he was. So the 2015, wasn't it? Actually, not 2005.
It was 2015 because they had
Yeah,
the Cubs won the
2015,
World
my
Series and
bad.
it was off by a year.
Yes, you're right. And then it
Yeah.
was Jaws. Like that was the big deal, was that it was
That
how
was
close
huge.
it was. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And it was just it was fun. I mean, Michael J. Fox, dude, was as a child, he was my favorite actor just because of that movie franchise. I mean, I liked Family Ties, the TV series already, where he was Alex P. Keaton. But I mean, it's just Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox was an amazing chemistry that now people know as Rick and Morty, which cracks
Yep.
me up. You know what I mean? Like that. Every time I see Rick and Morty, I go, that's Back to the Future, man. And that's, you know, kind of sometimes it's got such a cult following. But if I tell people, if you like Rick and Morty, go back and watch Back to the Future again, because that is truly your Rick and Morty, how it was intended to be.
Is it crazy to think that there are fans of Rick and Morty who have never seen Back to the
Yeah,
Future?
that's
And
exactly.
admittedly, I have
Yes.
not.
Yep.
I have not seen a full Back to the
Yeah,
Future,
dude.
but I can't stand Rick and Morty. Like
Well, the whole
I
premise is
literally
exactly
hate
off
it.
of Back to the Future, except
I
instead
love
of
Rick and
time
Morty.
travel, they're
Sorry.
reality hopping.
I don't care.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yep.
you know, it's the exact same concept, but instead of time, they're reality hopping. And
No,
it's,
definitely. I mean, it's definitely a clear parody.
Yeah.
Of it.
I love your
Um,
point though,
Just
Blade.
an
'cause-
R-rated parody of it.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
Blade, I guarantee you, 90% have never seen it. Let alone,
Yeah,
let alone
especially-
the
especially
trilogy.
that target demographic.
Absolutely.
And that's a crime. Do you know what I mean? It's literally
Yep.
a crime because Back to the Future, and I said too, it's timeless. I know that sounds horrible saying that, but it's truly a timeless movie because I don't mean to be punny in any way, but it's just you can show it to anybody and they'll totally enjoy it if they just take the time to watch it.
And also, it is one of my favorite Family Guy references where they do
Yes.
it later. And he's like, hey, why'd you name our son Marty again? Really? Because he looks just like the guy. You think I don't remember what he looked like back then? He's the same guy and you named him the same. I love it. And he burns the... Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I did it in my head. It was funnier, but that's exactly how it goes. It spun off so many things that now literally in Avengers Endgame, they're like, are you doing a Back to the Future? Let me tell you why Back to the Future is wrong. And Robert Zemeckis is the freaking man. It's fantastic. That's why I have a whole list set aside for time travel.
But does it ruin Back to the Future that's not how time travel works? Though?
Absolutely. No, it's still fun.
Now you're like, oh, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's got one of the best scores, one of the best top 3 on-screen vehicles of all time, and I will fight you to the death. It's one of the best.
Hey,
absolutely.
One of the only cars made in Ireland, even though they
the
look
DeLorean.
like garbage.
I love it when Blade goes back to his roots. But yeah, I mean, come on. This is easily one of the best of all time.
Did you guys know the mall is still there too?
It is.
The Twin Pines Mall.
Yep.
Because when we went to WonderCon this year, we were at Frankensons, which moved into a Costco that is literally right across the freeway from the mall where Back to the Future was filmed. And we just went to get lunch. We went to get like some Jimmy John's across the street. And we looked, let's look up and see if there's any comic shops in this mall. And sure enough, there was. But there was also a collectibles shop. And inside it, they had the hoverboard signed by the cast of Back to the Future. I go, that's cool. This is really awesome. You know, did the actors come in here and they go, this was the mall actually where it was filmed? And they do events on a regular basis to celebrate the history of Back to the Future and that this mall's still here.
This episode,
how awesome is that?
This episode of Nightcap Chat is sponsored by Jimmy John's. Go to your local Jimmy John's.
No thanks.
Hey, we got to try getting some interest in sponsorship somewhere, right?
I don't know. I think I would have to reject that one. Like,
oh my God, you're too prideful.
I can morally
handle a good sandwich. All right, let's go.
Sandwiches.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so we're still not up to your last one yet, Blade, right? Or do you have an alternative?
No, not
okay.
Not there yet.
Okay.
But I have something stupid to say about Back to the Future.
Go ahead.
Lance, do you remember we were like playing something or watching something, and all of a sudden, Back to the Future 3 comes on.
Okay.
With like the cowboys, and we're just like, what the hell is this? Do you remember that? Because I just remember thinking like what the heck is like this? Just
I don't like. Is there anything else to it? Just
wait a minute, Blade.
Like I don't understand what's
no.
And then your mom fell down the stairs.
I've seen them all multiple times. Like I don't know. Like I think it was weird. The third one was a little weird. But it was like, also from the
and
perspective
we were like half paying attention.
Child,
like I don't know if we were like
like
play fighting and then like not paying attention. And then all of a sudden they were cowboys, and then
they were fighting on the train or something. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think I get the story here. Wait, Plato, you say you've only seen the third one like maybe half once?
Yes.
Oh my, that is the weirdest thing. That is bizarre as hell, man. This was on my
and also the
I
scene
get the point
from
of
the
the
first
story.
one where he plays guitar and then says like, your kids will like it or something.
Yes. Yeah. I assume you have a problem with rock and roll now. Grab your pearls, Blade. I can't believe you've only seen. Well, that being said, the third one is not the greatest of the group, but that's so bizarre to me just because I've seen it maybe 100 times. It's just weird. I love it. Yeah, that's why.
It is one of those movies, though. If you didn't have those two actors, I would have to say, like,
yeah. Well, I mean,
man, I don't know how good those movies could have done with them without them specifically. Like, you might be able to find a couple people, but the chemistry that they had and just the way he played.
If they made it today,
it was so good.
If they made it today, it'd be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart, and Kevin.
100%, yeah.
That's exactly what they would do. And then it seems like every other buddy comedy that's been made in the last decade. So that's why it's so good.
Or would it be like Denzel Washington and because you have to have the older
guys. You mean like the other guys?
Old,
You mean Denzel Washington
today? It would just be Rick and Morty.
Did you guys ever see the films that made us special on Netflix on Back to the Future?
Yes, I did a while ago.
No, I didn't.
Okay, it was like Michael J. Fox wasn't even the first choice.
No.
That other kid that was in Mask.
Yeah.
Was supposed to be the Marty McFly, but it just wasn't working well with him, so they recast him halfway through the movie.
Yep.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
I was at Game On over the previous weekend, the Game On Expo in Phoenix, and I don't remember if it was the voice actor for Cloud or the voice actor for Sephiroth from the new Final Fantasy VII reboots. But somebody asked him, there was a Q&A, and we were just waiting for the next panel. But I caught this, and they asked him, like, is there a role that you didn't get that you like regret or
Right.
whatever. It's like, yes, like I auditioned for this thingy and then I got a call back and they flew me out to LA or whatever, and it was for this movie called Back to the Future. And he was on the short list, and he said he was in costume on set, and they filmed all these things, and they went on and on and on. But they picked that guy who you're referring to, but then he got fired and replaced anyway. And he just wished that he got it there, especially since that other guy failed. But I mean, you guys know the rest, right?
Yeah,
The rest
just
is
to get the
history.
chance to be auditioning for Back to the Future and seeing what it was must be a fun story to share with people over all the years coming to for him.
Well, gosh, I mean, it's got to be a bit like a heartache, right? To be so close, like that's I attest, like that's a terrible feeling.
But to be fair, would it have been successful if he did it?
No. Exactly to your point. Like it probably would not have been the same without Michael J. Fox and his name is eluding me.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd. Yes, thank you. Yes, I haven't seen it, but I mean, I do appreciate that it is a pop culture staple.
That's right. All right, Lancelot.
Oh, okay. Let me pull up my list. Which one do I want to do?
We've been talking this long about.
You know what I just realized?
Shut up, Blade.
Sorry.
Grow up.
Three of the 6 movies
Doesn't
that I
work if you
have
applaud
are Bruce
yourself.
Willis movies.
Wait,
Three
shut
of the
up.
movies
Hold
are
on a
what?
second. Wait a minute. Oh my God. Can I please? Hold on a second.
What did he say?
He said
Three
three
of
of
the
his
6
are
my-
Bruce Willis movies.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Okay. So wait, can I ask, is The Fifth Element one of those ones?
Yes, Fifth Element's one of them.
Is Looper one of those ones?
No.
Son of a God, you're wrong on that, but okay, what do you got?
Is Looper the one with
Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin Skywalker?
No.
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen?
No. That's
Oh, that's
Jumper.
Jumper. I'm sorry. I was like, that's the one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I actually
sorry.
like Jumper. It's not great, but it was a fun, stupid one. No, Looper is time travel with Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
I know what
I
one of
forgot.
the
I've never
movies
seen that
on
one,
Lance's
actually.
list
Oh
is.
my God. Shame
I
on
didn't see
all of
Looper.
you. It is one of the best time travel movies, and it has one of my top 5 favorite scenes in movie history. Anyway, go
Wait,
ahead.
what is one of mine?
Better than Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yes. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Wait, so
I don't know if I consider
Sci-Fi
this
Bruce
a
Willis.
sci-fi movie though. It's got to be Demolition Man.
yeah, that would be
I'm sorry, not Demolition Man. Not Demolition
You already
Man.
said that, wait.
What's the one where he's a superhero?
Unbreakable.
Oh, Unbreakable?
Unbreakable. Why did I think it was a D? Is
That-
it Unbreakable?
Yeah. Sci-fi movie,
That's
right?
awesome.
Sci-fi
Good choice.
movie?
It was
Yeah.
listed on the sci-fi
He's-
movies. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbreakable. It's awesome.
absolutely. And
It is awesome, but I don't think I consider that a sci-fi movie.
see, this
Well,
is
it's
why
listed
this is
as
such
a sci-fi
big
movie. That's why I
net.
just
Yep.
picked it.
I was waiting
Okay,
for this
what-
kind of a fight to start. I
Why?
agree.
Because they're
Go,
superheroes.
go,
He's a
go,
Where's the
superhero.
science
Go.
fiction?
Punch him.
He's
Kick
a
him.
superhero.
Yes, you're right.
Wasn't he born that way?
Get him. Get him, Lance. Tell
Why
him.
does it matter? No, he wasn't born that way. Right?
Yes,
Maybe
he
it's
was
maybe
born
no,
that way.
no, he was born that way. He just realized it after all these things that kept happening,
Yes.
right? And then what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson's a superhero too, but he's just his opposite. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's the exact opposite.
he's
Mr. Glass.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it, Lance. I got your back
It's a
on this
superhero
one.
movie.
Yes.
I like the movie. I just disagree that it counts.
Oh my God.
I don't know what I don't know what's your definition of a sci-fi movie.
This is
something that is
why
science.
this
If it
list
has,
is a
if
joke.
it has important elements of science, literal science fiction.
Yeah.
Like
Okay, which is a superhero.
Yeah.
Is a superhero's real?
He doesn't get hurt. He
therefore
can
it's
live-
science fiction.
600 pounds without ever doing anything. Yeah. Science
That's
fiction. It is. That's why
All
this
right,
is
all
such a
right,
bizarre
okay.
list. It
all
could.
right, but
That's
Okay.
why when I
Let
also
me
said there's
go
no
over the
Marvel or
map.
DC movies in this list because
This
they're
is
all
It's
science fiction.
showing. All I'm doing is, Steve, I just want to show there's more science fiction besides Star Wars and Star Trek. That's
Exact-
enjoyable out
no, no,
there.
no,
And a
I'm
lot
not-
of people forget about that.
Absolutely right, which is why you said it correct. You have to take the big two out, but still it casts this giant net that is definitely going to
Yes.
result in the fight. And I
And
love
it's
it.
All
fun,
right,
because
okay,
There's so much stuff that's
I buy it.
enjoyable out there.
I-
We're
Hell
sharing with
yeah. Absolutely.
I
Okay,
concede.
now that I'm done defending
I buy it.
Unbreakable,
Yeah.
we should need to talk about the damn film.
What about Split?
people.
I never
About
saw
what?
Split.
Split,
Uh,
which is the sequel to it, and then the last one, which I don't remember the name, which I'm humiliated about right now. But why don't I remember the freaking name? What? You didn't see the finish?
I didn't see it either.
Yeah, I just saw Unbreakable. I didn't see the sequels actually either.
The sequel
I was
is
good
called
with Unbreakable being like a masterpiece.
the sequel is called Split, and I own the last one. I can't. Why don't I remember the name of this?
And half the time
the
when
last one is called Glass. And that's
Glass.
where they're all
Oh,
back
right, with
together.
Samuel
And
Jackson. Yeah, yeah.
there's a group of bad guys that are getting the bad guys to kind of whatever. But anyway, that's wild that you didn't see the finish of it. But that being said, you left at the right time because they were not good.
That's why I didn't see it.
Split was great,
Because
but it
the
had nothing to
reviews, I
do with
wasn't
him.
gonna go see it.
No,
Yeah.
no, Split was great, had nothing to do with him though, except for the very last 2 seconds.
See, like, I feel like you just got to leave well enough alone.
Well said.
You know, like, not everything needs a sequel. Like, I hated when they started doing Taken sequels.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
my god.
Taken to me is like one of the perfect movies, and it had a happy ending. And if it's a spoiler, I don't care. It's been out for too long. But it's exactly what I wanted. It's got Liam Neeson. You know, like, it was the perfect movie.
Here's the thing, though. It's one of those situations where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because you look at Unbreakable and you're like, it's a one-hit wonder, great film. And if they never made a sequel, you'd be like, man, I almost wish there was like a sequel. But they do it and it's bad. You're like, that sucks.
You're right. Well,
You know what I
it's
mean? It's just one of those
hindsight.
things.
Yeah, it's better to
Hindsight's 2020.
yeah, it's better to
I
hope
never
that it's not
want a
bad.
sequel.
I think it's kind of rough to do a sequel of something that's like, 25 years later and you do a sequel of it, or whatever it was.
I think more, especially now, like, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
He's
you know?
okay. Just so we're clear, he texted me that the other day, and it was absolutely accurate to the situation, and I hated that he was so right.
Yes.
Kevin Feige.
He was. Well, it wasn't
Sorry,
on that. It was
that too.
It was something else, but he was so spot on. I was like, "Yeah, well, I can't argue
It
that."
was what
point.
we do in the shadows.
Yeah,
but I mean,
that's what it was.
Marvel Cinematic Universe
Yeah.
too. Like, should have just stopped.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Gosh.
Well, so can I not consider Guardians then? Because that would be.
I think Guardians absolute. Wait. I think we didn't talk about Unbreakable before we shift to Guardians.
Sorry, we talked about the sequels more than the actual movie. My bad. Sorry, guys.
We did.
My fault.
And you know what? Like, I don't think Bruce Willis is that great of an actor, but gosh, does he do some good movies?
Yes.
You know?
I think I think he puts out a solid performance. I don't know if I would say I've ever seen him be like, wow, he needs to
I'm
win
not saying
like
he's
an Oscar.
I'm not saying
but,
he's
like,
bad. He's just
always
Bruce
like,
Willis.
He always gives you this like B+ A- kind of thing. You know what I mean? But he's consistent
perfect.
with
That's
it. You know what I
perfect.
mean? You know what I mean? Like, there's never been an A+, but like A-, B+ all the time.
Why
You're not
is
getting any lower than a B+.
perfect.
Why is that so
Die Hard
funny
an
to me?
A+?
Die Hard is definitely an A+. Wait, no.
Yeah,
Well,
Die
I
Hard is
mean-
an A+, but it's not
I
science
mean,
fiction.
his performance.
His performance, not the movie.
Okay.
To me, Die Hard's fine. Die Hard's a little overrated, but
Wow.
It is not overrated. His performance, maybe. Pulp Fiction?
his performance, yes.
Pulp
Pulp
Fiction?
Fiction's not sci-fi.
No, well,
But yes,
no,
Pulp
but we're
Fiction is
talking
good,
about
but
is he?
his
I'm sorry.
performance is still the same. He's just like, hey,
He's
I'm
Bruce Willis every time.
I'm
He's
Bruce
Jack
Willis.
Nicholson.
Okay,
every
well, hold
time.
on a second.
go do stuff.
I will absolutely just do the mic drop and we'll move right on. In The Sixth Sense, it's another M. Night Shyamalan movie. We're talking about this one. Come
Yeah.
on. He's fantastic. He actually acts a different role than usual. It doesn't end the same way. Come on, man. He earned a
But
little
that's
bit
the
of an A
movie.
rating.
That's the movie. It's a great movie. He's still just like.
So what we're
Bruce
saying
Willis.
is he a one-trick pony? And if that's the
Yes.
question, then a 1.5
yes,
trick
and that's
pony.
not bad.
No,
That's not
are
bad.
you
Samuel
kidding me?
Jackson's a one-trick pony.
Can I be honest?
Jack
Ryan
Nicholson's a
Reynolds.
one-trick pony too.
Ryan Reynolds is one of my favorites, and he is a one-trick pony.
Ryan Reynolds is a huge one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Who did you
Yeah.
say, Ken?
Jack Nicholson's a one-trick pony.
Jack Nicholson.
You always get Jack.
I say he's a 1.5 trick pony.
Yeah, that's an
What's the other
interesting
half?
one.
Mm,
I
Like,
don't
where's he
know.
not?
I
Jack
just
Nicholson is better.
and he's
better
a
than
lot
both of
different
those
in
guys.
Chinatown than he was in The Shining. I'll tell you. I mean, to me. I don't know. I think he can do both. In The
Even
Shining,
in
he's
Son of a Woman,
he was
it's
pretty
still
good in
Jack
anger
Nicholson.
management, you know?
yeah.
Yes.
Goose Fraba. Goose Fraba.
Goose Fraba.
All right. Well, I get an idea of where we're at now. So I only have really one left.
Okay.
I know
also
Ken
have
knows
one
what my
left.
number
But also
one
we-
is.
Also, we did not
That'd be
talk about
Guardians.
Unbreakable again.
Well, if you want, you can move into my other Bruce Willis movie.
Right?
Well, let's real quick. Does anyone have anything they want to say about
Ghostbusters, obviously.
Unbreakable?
Yes.
Besides
Right.
Bruce Willis just being Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson just being Samuel L. Jackson.
I do like the Bruce
half-
Willis list though. That's cool. I dig the guy actually. So
Half the time when I bench press, I think of that moment where they're putting the paint cans and like
Yeah.
just see what other crap we can throw
Yep.
on there. I think of that every time I bench.
I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do this. So Blade, you and I both love and hate different celebrities. I've been
Okay.
blocked by multiple celebrities on Twitter. It's a joke on
Badge
the
of
newsroom
honor.
because these people can't handle it. I want to tell you, I really, really dislike Bruce Willis a lot as a
Really?
human being.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
He is always on the top 3 of the worst tippers list, which is
Oh,
put
Wow.
together
that's
between like 19 different websites, and people have photo proof. Bruce Willis is kind of garbage.
Dang.
I
Hey,
just
Terrible.
I don't know anything about him.
this is my point. Is
just
I
think
didn't either
I think he's
until I
he's
read
okay
this.
in the movies. He knows how to pick them. That's for sure.
You know
Yeah,
what?
he knows how to pick scripts.
Yeah, he does. I hate that he's. I tip heavily. Why wouldn't you tip heavily,
Yeah.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah,
Come
that's
on,
dumb.
man.
I was gonna
That's
make.
dumb.
I was gonna make.
You've never been a
joke, but
waiter.
I'm not going to.
No joke, right, Ken? That's
You've
my
never
point.
been
A lot
waiter.
of times you've
That's
never
why I
actually
tipped the
worked in
Wux. I was
services.
a waiter at one time.
That
Yeah.
I've never been a waiter, and I tip pretty good.
Dude, you tip even better once you waited.
No
It's
joke.
weird to say, but like that. There's times like,
Oh.
why are you tipping so much? Because this person worked their ass off, and I can tell.
yeah,
Because
and
I
you
was in that
also.
same type of shoes.
My family brings the cups up to the bar, and they always go, "Were you in the service industry?" I'm like, "No," but that's how you do it. Sorry, you
Yeah,
can cut
and
all
we
of this
clean up-
out,
yeah, well, we
Blade.
clean up the
I'm just
tables
saying-
for
No,
the
this is
people
fine.
before they get there. Even sometimes, it's like let's put all the plates together nicely and make it sure it's easy as possible for them. Even we still tip them well. It's
This is
great.
a very weird section of the show, so I'm sorry I distracted us with
Sorry.
with food service, Blade. But
No,
Is
we're
waiting
leaving it.
considered
No, no, no,
science
no, no.
fiction?
no, but he. Oh my, that. But no, he's always on the list of the worst people. Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
That hurts my
that sucks.
soul. I'm like,
Come on,
no,
Bruce.
I liked him. Okay, all right. Buffers, if you want to cut all that out.
So I have one, and who else has one?
I have one, but Ken already knows it.
Yeah.
I think you guys all
How many
know
do
it.
you have?
You're gonna call to get the answer, Steve.
You have to call.
Wait. Ken, how many do you have left?
I can go on forever, but I'm not going to. So, like, do you want me to
Okay,
pick up
and
like
Lance,
a
how
random
many do
job.
you have left?
Good job, Blade.
How many do I have left? I have
Okay.
2, no 3, and then I wanted to do one more, but
Okay,
I can
let's
just
do
name 'em quick.
Lance's. Let's do Lance's other Bruce Willis movies.
Don't you cut this out. I swear, if you leave all of my nonsense in and cut that out, I'm going to hold you responsible.
I'm leaving all of this, and I have not made a single note this episode, and I want to keep it that way. Let's do the other
Okay,
Bruce Willis
so real
movies,
quick,
so we can
I
start
want to make
talking about him.
I want Steve to feel a little bad. You know, Bruce Willis is really sick, just so you know.
Oh
He has
wow.
a brain,
so
he has a brain illness.
you're right. So he can't afford to tip.
Oh.
Understood.
Oh, I know. He just keeps forgetting. He has a brain. That's me. That's really bad.
Oh,
With dementia.
no.
Now look at Blade. Look at him. Now he's getting the pencil and paper out to write this down.
No, I'm not. No.
Anyway, I digress. My other Bruce Willis movie actually might be his best acted movie, Armageddon.
Oh,
Ooh, good call,
absolutely.
Matt, too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fun movie.
Armageddon.
I have
He
a
made
good.
me cry.
Okay.
I cried. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
Okay. I have a story about this. And if you ask Sarah, she would tell you, I'm not trying to steal the show. To your point, Lance, how old is your daughter right now?
22 months.
Okay. When she starts getting into movies and she can watch TV, I'm telling you, we put that movie on for my daughter when she was like 3, enough to where she could see spaceships and stuff. And at the end, she was sobbing and hiding behind a pillow because she thought that I was going to be gone. And that's when I was like,
Oh,
sweet.
wow.
So first of all, I was like, cool.
So sad.
My kid gets movies. How cool is this? She sucks today.
Yeah.
But number 2 number 2, to your point, that freaking movie holds up, man. It is so
Oh yeah.
it is so good. It also has one of my favorite Aerosmith songs, Screw You People from Boston. I'm from
Oh,
Boston. It is a fantastic song. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's great. What a good movie,
The
dude.
only good Aerosmith song.
Get out of this room. You cannot be too woke for Aerosmith, America's band. Move on. But they're great pick, man. I love it.
And then leaving on a jet plane.
Yep. Are you kidding me?
Leaving
Your
on
boy,
a jet
Michael
plane.
Clark Duncan. By the way, every time I see him, I'm like,
that cast is great.
oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Steve
Owen
Buscemi.
Wilson. Owen Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god.
Tommy,
The
Billy
Russian
Bob
guy.
Thornton. Yeah, the Russian guy is freaking great.
This is how you fix it
On Russian space station.
Because I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. What a good pick, man. See?
Yes.
Space, my
did
number
not
2.
consider
And there's
that.
nothing better when Steve Buscemi goes crazy when they get on the rock or whatever, and he's just like they taped him to the.
And the sunglasses come down. He goes, I got a way better view than you guys. Yeah.
Brilliant.
By the way, I
That
could come
movie
up with
is
a second one on here. Clones. Clones is a totally different one.
Yes.
A lot of good clone movies out there. Sorry to interrupt, Blade. Go ahead. I told you, sci-fi it really is nuts to me.
Blade's gonna argue that Clones isn't a sci-fi because it's real. I'm just throwing it out there.
Blade is actually in the Illuminati and has a stakehold in clone development. So we're not going to talk about that this episode. Look at his face. You guys can't hear it. I mean,
If that was the case, we would be the #1 podcast, though. So
check your
That's true.
downloads. I think we were last time. The newsroom is killing it.
Is it? I have to look. I think I'm going to go next because I feel like mine is just so far off base from anything you guys are going to say. Like, we just need to get this out of the way because we can't end on what I'm about to say.
It's Matilda, isn't it?
Matilda.
Yeah, it is. It's something goofy like Matilda. Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web, because spiders don't really talk and make spider webs with words. What is it, Blade?
It's a movie that starts with a song about science fiction, double features, and that is my favorite Halloween movie of all time, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
Quintessential science fiction. Like, it's all about science fiction, right? My favorite musical. What Tim Curry, my goodness. Like, it doesn't get better. I love that movie. We were just putting together a Halloween playlist, and I was like, we just got to put like this whole soundtrack. My wife wouldn't let me put the whole soundtrack.
What?
I got to pick 3 songs.
Buffer it and you're good. Put a couple other songs in between and you're
That's what
fine.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monster Mash in between and you're fine.
No, it's brilliant. I mean, it's a cult classic. It's another one. Like, I'm not gonna say it's like bad or anything, but it's just, if you don't know, you just gotta watch it. I mean, like, and you know what? That's another thing that was like always on when I stayed home sick from school.
Really?
There was always
I
Fifth
would-
Element.
Wow.
There was always Rocky Horror Picture Show and Wheel of Fortune.
I would almost consider
Yep.
it less of a movie and more of like an
Experience. So
Sure.
You know?
I've been to a lot of movie
Sure.
experiences, and this is the one that I've never done. The toast throwing stereotypical one. I've never actually done
let's
it.
Do it.
No, are you
I'm
kidding
down.
me? Just rent I'll rent the theater. I just don't know the gimmicks, and I'm pumped to go do it eventually.
We need people that know the gimmicks.
Yep, my mom does. Yep.
Oh, okay, there you go.
She's been
I can
multiple
only help a little
times.
bit. Like, there's only a few that like I really remember. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of inappropriate gimmicks, and I hesitate to
Recommend.
say some of the ones
Yeah.
I know on here out loud.
Yep. Well,
What were you gonna? I feel like you were gonna say something, Ken.
I'm gonna have to make a guilty admission. I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show all the way through.
Get out! But you've
Yeah.
seen parts of it.
Yeah, I've seen parts of it, but not all the way through. Just little segments that you've seen, walking
Out of
into a room where it's
context.
playing in the background or something, or just being somewhere where someone had it playing.
so I have a
Just kinda-
question for all of you then, because the other movie that is directly compared to this all the time, I wonder if any of you have seen that all the way through. Who's seen? Oh my god, I just had that. Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes,
I've never
Little Shop
seen
of
it.
Horrors is awesome.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Blade. You have never
Yeah.
seen it. You definitely get it. It's in the same genre of dark comedy,
Yeah.
musical, weird horror.
It's totally. I could see the appeal between
Steve
both shows.
Martin.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, they're always
Yeah.
together. And the fact that
It's a
you haven't
musical. I
seen
don't
one,
like musicals, but I like Little Shop
that's
of
what I'm.
Horrors.
That's what I'm saying. It's a really weird thing, and I was just curious if you guys have all seen it. Lance is like, I'm done with this show. So
Yeah, no, I didn't see it.
okay.
I hate musicals, by the way. Like, if
Yeah, I'm
you
not a
say,
big fan.
"Oh yeah, this is a musical," I just like I will lose all interest. I don't care. You're just gonna bore me
Oh.
for the rest of the time.
All types, or just the ones that are heavily like Les
Every-
Mis?
No,
Oh,
just
dude, I
any.
was-
If
Oh,
there's
Les Mis is
if
good.
you're like doing a part of a story and you're singing while you're doing it, I just don't care anymore.
Okay.
Like,
It's not-
if I
it's
want
not for
that, I'll
everybody.
watch a Disney movie. Like, just shut up, stop singing.
Gotcha.
Like, give me a break.
Definitely not for everybody, but
Yeah,
All right.
that's fair.
well, I like that
I don't
pick.
mind musicals.
I like that pick. It's
Yeah.
it's weird,
Yeah.
and I like it because a lot of people talk about, and it's relevant every freaking year. People do it.
It's
Yes,
and
it's a tradition.
It's yeah, and it's so high on my it's my favorite musical, and I don't know if it's considered a horror movie genre at all, but like definitely top 3, if it's counted, but definitely my favorite musical of all time.
know-
So it's such a high ranking movie for me personally. I feel like I've got to put it on my science fiction favorites.
Blake, can I say I don't think it's considered a horror movie, but I do think it is considered a Halloween movie.
Sure.
Does that make sense? Do you kind of get that
it's a
vibe,
diff-
right?
It's a different.
Yeah,
different
it's-
thing.
I get it. Yeah. That's fair.
I'm trying to think because I
horror's
totally
not-
agree. It's iconic, but it's not a horror movie, but it definitely is a Halloween movie. People play it and cosplay and party and all that shit. So I mean, I know it's a thing.
Hey, that was my Halloween.
I know it
costume
was.
2
Yeah,
years ago.
I know it was,
you
which
know?
is why it's like it's relevant. I just don't know.
Yeah, for sure. All right, what do we got next? Ken, you want to list off a couple?
Yeah, there's man, dude. I love science fiction movies. That's part of my problem. Is like that. There's just so many good movies. It's hard to narrow them down. One of my favorite ones, I think that a lot of people kind of would probably like say, it's okay, but I really enjoyed because it was kind of like a love letter to pop culture. Was Ready Player One.
Ah,
And Ready Player One was such a fun movie to me because it was kind of like watching my life, just like the guy that was trying to get people to complete the mission. Like so many little things that were part of that mission were like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I lived that. Oh, that was cool. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look, it's a Transformer. Oh, look, it's a Batmobile. Look, it's Knight Rider. Everything that was cool about me growing up showed up in that movie except Voltron. Do you know what I mean? It's like there was, if it had something to do with science fiction, it was
there.
tied into that movie.
Including the
your
Iron
video games,
Giant.
Atari, Nintendo, Iron Giant. It was magical, and it was, in the future. So it was kind of a, do you know what I mean? Something of just, it was a treasure hunt. It was like a Mission Impossible type of feel to it. It was everything you could think of that you would enjoy about going to see a movie was tied in. It was a little bit of a romance in there too. It was 110% like, man, I would go see that again. And just so you could catch the stuff you may have missed the first time around.
do you want to know a cool side story about that movie? Because Steven Spielberg went through hell getting it approved. Just like Zemeckis when he made Roger Rabbit, you're dealing with so many different independent studios
licenses.
and
Yeah.
licensing, and they all have to agree on a certain amount of screen time until Spielberg
Okay.
came up and said, enough bitching about these characters that haven't been relevant in 15 years. Everyone's going to agree, and everyone's just going to say that your person is going to be on, and you can make it look great, but this is the time you're going to get. And they all just said, fine. Like, what are they talking about? Is Brad Bird going to complain about not enough Iron Giant screen time? So they all buckled.
Yeah.
But how cool is that? Like, he said straight up, this isn't about all of you. This is about the story, and this is what he did. It's the second time that
was
it's
awesome.
happened since Roger Rabbit, where there's been more than 10 studios involved.
I was
You know, it
impressed
almost-
that Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers movie got away with as much as they got in there too.
All Disney products.
see that too?
One of my favorite movies of the year. Absolutely fantastic. Yep.
What
On a
is
similar
it?
type of element.
Uh,
The Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers movie that came out earlier this year.
yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was just a lot of fun licensing. Like even
Yep.
He-Man got into it. I'm
Yep,
going, how did
it's-
Filmation get in there?
Exactly. It was just a modern day Roger Rabbit is what it was as far as that goes. But all right, Lance, you were going to say something.
Right.
I feel like this is almost like you need to get Steven Spielberg together with you're gonna hear he's gonna get hired soon by Epic Games to make a Fortnite movie and somehow get how they have because they have the licensing to make
everything.
freaking
Yes.
everything for their video games. They're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna make a Fortnite movie, but we have to get like one of every character in here. But since you're apparently the guy that's done it before, you're gonna do it for us here
Yeah.
at Epic Games. I guarantee you that's gonna happen.
By the way,
Here's
Because
the
they're
thing
gonna
about
put up how much
because-
money for that.
I think Fortnite was based off of the original book that Ready Player One was based off of because it feels so Fortnite-ish of like what Ready Player One was. When I saw Ready Player One, I go, this feels like a live action Fortnite. And then someone told me it was a book like that came out about 5 or 10 years ago. I'm going, wow, I could totally see the people that created Fortnite reading that book, and so let's make that into a reality. And not obviously for the chase for the $1 million prize or $1 billion prize type of thing at the end of it, but just the fact of the multi-reality open game, or what do you call it? What do they call it? Open reality or open? Say it again.
Open world.
Open world. Thank you. And so,
well, this is interesting. Kind of makes me think. I don't know. So I have my number one left, but you guys already know what it is. But this just brought it up. So Ready Player One is a massive sci-fi franchise in books. You know what none of us have mentioned? And that's Dune.
Oh, Dune.
See,
you said right?
Never
Oh,
saw
Dune.
Dune is such a bizarre original one, and the new one by Denis Villeneuve, it's a beautiful film.
So good.
But
Is that how you pronounce that?
Villeneuve, yeah, it's French. Yeah, is that? Thank you. But anyway, no one mentioned that, so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, Dune's a good one
because that's a big one
never
on
saw
books. Dune. Okay, it's the new one is really pretty to look at, really pretty to look at. But so
it sounds like you're trying to say something nice about it, but it's not that good. You're like, it's really pretty to look at.
It's my least favorite of that director, and I worship that director.
Oh, okay.
I was really bored. I thought the acting was great, but it's such a boring story. I just didn't care for it. It wouldn't be one I recommend. But what I would recommend is obviously Guardians of the Galaxy. If we're considering that sci-fi, considering it sci-fi. But
I think definitely. I think it's a strong subgenre.
Then that's a very important movie to me. But my number one is Ghostbusters. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
Not the reboot. I have no problem saying about why it's a bad movie, let alone who's cast in. I don't like it. All of the other ones, so good, so much fun. I love it. Ghostbusters is a big deal for me. And obviously the Krellin household in general. So
yes.
Yeah, it's so iconic. You see the new commercials with the Ghostbusters?
You bet. You mean with freaking David Ortiz and A-Rod?
David Ortiz, A-Rod, and Randy Johnson.
Yes,
and
Randy
Griffey.
Johnson shooting at a freaking giant Cincinnati Red. Yeah, I've seen him.
Yes.
What?
I've
Yeah.
not seen those yet. That
Is
sounds
that a
awesome.
baseball commercial?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, it airs during the baseball games. Well, actually, I see it
again?
all the time.
I haven't seen those yet either. I'd love to see that. It's a baseball Ghostbusters commercial.
Yeah, they show up in Ecto
it's
1
kinda
in like a pinstripe Ghostbusters outfit. But I mean, it's great. They just did Afterlife this last year, which was my most anticipated movie of my adult life. It was not the greatest movie of all time, but I have a hell of a lot of fun. And I mean, how science fiction is that? Freaking fighting ghosts. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
I mean, I would say fighting ghosts isn't science fiction, but maybe what they do is science fiction.
Well said. I like that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yes.
I haven't seen any of the Ghostbusters besides Afterlife. Well, that's not true. Most of the. Which one is it? Is it the first one or the second one?
With the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? That's
Mhm.
the first one.
First one.
It is the first one. Okay. I always don't think that's the first one for some reason. I don't know what I think the first one is. But Afterlife is the only one I've seen like all the way through, I think.
Because you went to
Sorry,
a
question
special
now.
screening with the Yawkey Way group,
Yeah.
which was so much
Yes,
fun.
I did. Yes, it was.
But anyway, that's mine.
Should I do my last one?
Bring it, Lancelot. Do it.
My two have a connection and have the same actor.
Bruce Willis again.
Bruce Willis.
No. Will Smith.
Okay. Oh,
I
wait
can
a
guess
minute.
Right now.
Wait a minute. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is one of them going to be my jam? Is one of them I Am Legend?
Probably. Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh,
you
nice.
son of a. I just
That's a
threw
good
on my
one. I was
list.
thinking MIB.
Zombies is on my list.
I think it's gonna be Independence Day.
Yep. Independence Day.
Cool.
I Am Legend. Both great films.
Awesome picks, dude. That.
What about Men in
I love
Black?
Independence Day.
Yeah, and Men in Black's another fantastic one. Yeah.
Yes, with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I liked Men in Black when I was younger. I feel like they just don't hold up the same for me personally, at least. I don't know.
You know what?
I don't know if
The
you
new
guys
one-
feel the same way.
Ken, were you just going to say what
The
I
new
was
one
going to
was-
say?
Yeah, the new one was fun too.
Wait,
Did you like the new one?
the one with Chris
the new-
Hemsworth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you not like it?
Yeah, I did not like it.
You didn't like it?
I thought you were going to say
I'm
the newer
simple, dude.
ones
I
got.
love just.
Dude,
I
it
just
was
love to
fun.
laugh and have fun. Yeah.
No. It was just great. You know, fun nonsense in the theater. But I actually
But it
thought
wasn't brilliant. It was just not as good as the first ones,
that way.
right? Or what?
Yeah.
Independence Day, to me still holds up, especially from you know, I'm not saying it's dated, you know, but like I literally turn it on like around the time of the year, if you will, during Independence Day. It's just the pacing is great. It's well edited. It's simple. It's just like boom, we're getting to the point. We're going, moving, quotable.
Yep, President Pullman.
Great cast. Will Smith. Oh my
Bill
goodness.
Pullman.
Jeff.
Yep,
Bill
Bill
Pullman. Jeff
Goldblum.
Goldblum. Gosh, yes, thank you.
Then
Jeff
who was the crop
Goldblum.
duster?
Vanessa Williams. Do you need more?
Kick the tires and light
Fires,
the fires,
baby.
Big Daddy.
Yep.
The crop duster? You mean the Will Smith's friend?
Yeah, the pilot.
Oh, the old guy, the
he
crazy
passed
old
away.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, the actor who was like that, the flying the plane. Isn't that was
That's
that
a
Independence
Quaid.
Day?
Mhm.
That's a Quaid brother.
Dennis Quaid. Yeah, Randy Quaid,
Yes.
right?
It's
Is it
Randy
Dennis Quaid. Or
Quaid.
Randy Quaid.
No, it's
Yeah,
not Dennis
yeah,
Quaid. It's
yeah.
Randy
It's
Quaid.
Randy Quaid.
Yes.
Randy Quaid.
Did
Yeah,
Randy
yeah,
Quaid
yeah.
pass away, right? Or am I not knowing that right? I think,
Bill
Bill
Randy-
Pullman, Vivica A. Fox.
but that movie was brilliant. I said too. It's like to go along with Lance like that.
No, Randy Quaid's still alive.
Okay.
by the
No,
way.
yeah, I didn't
Randy
think
Quaid.
any. Yeah, okay.
I just Googled it. Unless
one of them passed away.
Wikipedia's
Maybe I'm
to
wrong.
present is correct.
So,
Adam Baldwin.
Lance, I have a small story because I always do. I love Independence Day. It's one of my favorites. It was one of the most anticipated movies in my whole human life. That trailer of just the circle shadow like coming over
Yes.
was such a terrifying thing to me as a kid
Mhm.
that loved Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That terrified me to the point where I was obsessed with this. So when the movie came out, I loved it. We saw it 3 times the first day it came out. So at our local grocery store, they had those big cardboard cutouts, you know, to sell the VHS or the DVD. At the time it was VHS. I told the pharmacy that my brother was in the movie and if I could have the cardboard cutout, and they gave it to me.
What?
It was a dark time in my life, but I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you,
No,
it's
but they
because,
believed you. It's the
Wow.
best part.
dude, they didn't. What are they going to say? They were pumped. They were like, "Oh my god, is he going to sign autographs?" I'm like, "He doesn't exist, but can I have this?" I love that movie. I love it. It's one of the best alien invasion movies of all time, if not top 1 or 2. I think so.
I'm going to
no
share
reason.
something stupid with you about me and Blade when we watched the movie. Okay, there's a scene, you know, when they're
I
blowing
don't even
up
know what he's about to
cars.
say.
You know, like when the alien ships are shooting the cars are exploding and flipping over.
Ah.
There's a car in the movie, and it explodes. This blue car it flips over, and we're like, "That's our car," because it was the same exact car that our parents owned, and we were in the film. It was like, "Oh my god, that's our car!" And we lived in like New York, so like the whole thing was just like, "Oh, it's kind of like crazy that like
Surreal.
our
Gosh, I
own
didn't
little
even think about
crappy
that.
blue car was in there."
Yeah.
So if I go back to the guy that was working at the grocery store pharmacy, I could tell him that my friend's car was in the
Cars.
movie, and that's why I needed it. So I feel less
Not the
guilty about
exact
myself.
car,
No,
but the same make and model.
I'm taking it as your exact car. So I mean, that's what I'm telling the HEB pharmacy in San Antonio, Texas. But anyway,
Well, pharmacy guy, if you remember that little boy from the 90s who wanted the Independence Day cutout, busted.
this got dark, and I apologize for that.
This is confessions, Nightcap Chat confessions.
That's such a dumb confession. 15-year-old Steve was pumped, so he lied. Oh my god, crazy. What happened to this show? Whoa, it just died. Wow. I think it's because Blake
What
was
was the-
looking for the freaking sound effect for 30 seconds.
was. I
Damn
was.
it.
I was like, what's something funny I could play right now?
So wait, does everybody have given all their top ones?
Blade has to say his favorite Dragon Ball Z sci-fi movie.
My favorite Dragon Ball Z sci-fi movie.
I don't know. They're all sci-fi. That's why I was just...
Also, would you consider
Gotcha. Okay.
Akira sci-fi or anime?
Yeah,
Definitely. Both.
both.
Okay. What do you guys think about the remake?
I don't know. I never saw the original.
Oh
I mean, I
no.
saw Ghost in the Shell. I like both. I like
Okay.
both the original Ghost in the Shell and the Scarlett Johansson one.
I don't think I want to.
Even though
I don't think I
different.
want to tell Blade who's making the new one because I think he may just end the show.
Yeah, no.
Look at Ken go to his phone. It's a very great filmmaker, but you're not gonna like it. No, wait. If everyone's gonna Google it, I'll just tell you.
Yes.
Then say
Who
it.
is it?
It's freaking Taika.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes. It's going
He's
to be a big
amazing.
stupid joke the whole time.
I don't know who Taika is. I feel bad.
Taika Waititi
Taika Waititi
is the one that
Oh,
made
okay,
Thor,
Taika Waititi.
Directed.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
ruined
dude.
the Thor movies.
or made the Thor movies and made
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows and Jojo Rabbit, and he's fantastic. I know you don't like him, which is why I
for
was nervous.
comedy. For comedy.
Like
You're right. I don't really know if it fits, by the way. Also, side note, if you're a fan, have you seen how Jordan Peele copied that Akira's bike slide in Nope? And now people are like really slow clapping him. It's really cool.
Wow.
Jordan Peele loves Akira. And by the way, am I saying it like super white, right? Akira? It's supposed to be
I
said
hope
differently.
so. Yeah,
I
I
was
always call it Akira.
Jordan Peele it's his favorite movie. So in Nope, he has her slide her bike just like how he does in the really famous scene. It's pretty freaking cool. I don't know. It's cool to me that someone like if you were
I
in
feel like a lot of people have done that.
Oh,
though.
for sure,
Like,
but
it's
he's
one of the most copied things ever. So
you'd have to see it, but also it's an electric bike. Kind of, he put it just like that. He did a whole thing. I think you can see it. I just thought it's cool. Like if you guys had a project you were gonna rip one thing off of, it's kind of cool to be able to do that. I don't know how I got onto this topic, by the way.
we're talking about Akira and sci-fi movies because
There we go. Also, I would consider Akira a
all.
sci-fi movie. It happens to be,
It definitely.
it happens to be
100%
anime,
sci-fi movie.
but like for
So
example, I don't consider all of the Miyazaki ones like sci-fi. They're more like fantasy, like Disney. But this one to me, Akira was definitely sci-fi to me.
I would have said Cowboy Bebop, but to me it's mostly a TV show,
Oh!
so I feel like it doesn't quite count. But like, anyway, not to get on another tangent because we're close to wrapping here. But what was the other Will Smith one? I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Yeah.
I am legend.
That's
I've
super
only seen
good
that a couple
too.
times. Yeah, I don't even really like zombie movies.
Neither do I.
at all. But gosh, there's something to be said about his performance. He's able to carry a movie by himself, and like that's no exaggeration. He was literally by himself.
By himself. Yeah.
And she's dead.
And with a badass dog. Sam is
German
my
Shepherd,
favorite
yeah.
dog in cinema history.
Oh,
Also,
so heartbreaking.
so I did a show a long time ago about movies that make me cry, and I have a lot of them. I cry like a baby in movies. This is on my top 5. When Sam
Yeah.
dies is brutal. Do you guys all want to cry right now? Do you know what's in the making right now that they refuse to stop?
What's
Sam
that?
the movie.
Oh no, it's the sequel.
I am Sam.
I am Sam.
All Dogs Go to Heaven 3: The Rise of Sam.
And they say it's an actual sequel, and Michael B. Jordan is now going to be in it as Will Smith's something, but Will Smith isn't dead. Even though in the theatrical version he very clearly died, which makes
But
me
the
just
alternate,
which-
but in the alternate version,
in the alternate
doesn't.
version it's a little more ambiguous, and he leaves. But
right?
the one that was released is what we got. I hate that they're doing this. I think it's such scraping in the bottom of the barrel. Also, side note, has the biggest budget for a studio production in Manhattan. Those extras are not CGI'd. When they were flying the helicopter across back and forth, and everyone was down there in the battery right by on the Brooklyn Bridge, those are real people. I know this because my Coast Guard ship at the time was detached to make sure that those people didn't swim around. So, yeah, biggest budget for Manhattan or New York studio, non-paid screen actors of all time. So they what that means is they paid a
So just
stupid
random
amount.
people.
They paid more extras and military like me and my crew to stand there
what it
at,
is,
at
though?
ready instead of paying
That
speaking
had to
line
be
actors.
broken though, right? Because because of the time that movie came out.
It was a little bit rough, right?
Because it's 2007, right? So
Yeah.
Some of those Batman movies,
Yeah.
that they did, I'm sure probably. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it. Maybe it still does hold it, but I feel like there's so many big films that have happened after that.
Yeah.
That it's probably been broken since then.
I agree. I just know that that's a fact that they've paid more money than any movie that's filmed over there for extras and military and people, civilians standing around.
That's crazy.
Which is cool. If you watch that scene, those people aren't CGI. That's literally thousands of people bum rushing the freaking
running.
dock.
Well, it was probably just like,
That's
you could have just gotten a regular day in New York City and just blocked off a couple of streets, and it would have looked like that.
yeah, and you could have just shouted something. Yeah.
Yes.
Something that would have gotten you arrested.
But it would have saved you so much money.
You could have just
It would've
yelled,
been a great shot.
David Ortiz is down there, and they all would have been running anyway.
Yeah, right, to try to kill him, probably.
That's what I'm saying. Either way, but no, that's the point. Is it's a cool movie. I really like it, but it's very.
is cool.
It was a very expensive movie because they didn't want to chintz on real people. They wanted it to look like they were standing there, which I thought
And
was
I
cool.
kind of like how they did the zombies in that film because they were actually like formidable.
Yes, thank
Where
you.
a lot of the other
Yes.
films, it's just these
Yeah.
They were
dumb.
thinkers.
They were actually like they're gonna kill,
they were
like they're
thinking.
chasing you down and going to kill you. Like it's actually scary.
They-
Whereas
They
the
were
other
actually
ones are just
rational
like,
too.
yeah.
They weren't too rational though. Ken,
But they
I
had
could
thought
go on.
processes though.
You bet your ass they do,
Yes.
but it didn't cross into where they were like their own organization kind of thing. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
this one dude had an attachment with this one, and they can recognize that and get that. That's where I'm cool with zombies. It's when you start getting weird is where I don't like zombie stuff anymore. Which could be its own show because there's a lot of good and
Zombies.
bad zombie crap out there.
Mhm.
And I did like how they had like the zoos, all the animals from the zoos escaped.
Yep.
So you had like lions running
Yes.
around, and it was kind of like
He's
that's kinda
driving
cool.
down Midtown in a freaking
In a Mustang.
GT 500, just like freaking banking curves around like Times Square. Like it's just his backyard. It's incredible.
It's such a fun movie.
And it's based on a comic book too, right? That's another comic book movie that
I believe it's considered a graphic
Yes.
novel,
Made it
right?
on the
Ken,
list, right?
is that right? Or is
Yeah.
it a
Yes.
series?
No, it was a one-shot graphic novel, I think.
I think so
Pretty sure.
too. Yeah.
yeah, same thing.
Anyway, I totally concur.
Well, Ken,
I
you
love that pick.
wanna wrap this up with a couple of good ones here?
Yeah, it's like that. We got a lot of the top ones gone, but like I said too, one of my ones that I think it's stupid, but it always makes me laugh every time I watch it is Mars Attacks.
Oh.
They got cast-
Yeah, there we go. Some Burton in here. I love it.
Yes, dude. It's that cast is 110% nails. I mean, once again, you got Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael J. Fox,
Jack Nicholson
and
not
we could
being
go
Jack
on.
Nicholson. There we
Yeah,
go.
that's
Another
probably
good
the
one.
most. Yeah, dude, playing dumb Jack Nicholson. I guess I, poked my own hole, in my own stuff. He was dumb Jack if he was playing Jack, but
Yep.
it was. I just like that. I think they come in peace. I think they're trying to make a peace conference. It's like,
Can't we all
just
just
over and over and
get
over again. Let's
along?
give them a chance. I think they may be wanting to be peaceful, and then just the whole fact the classical music popping all their heads and the bubbles at the end of the movie. It was just so much bizarre fun to it. I mean, Sarah Jessica Parker's head being put on a dog, and just so bizarre fun.
That's weird mixing animals like
Satire
that, like
of
a horse and a dog.
Alien movies
Yeah.
was hilarious.
just leave it? It was perfectly under our breath. I love this freaking movie. Also, I think it has
Yeah.
more fans now than it did the first 5 years it came out. What a cult following.
Absolutely, it's a cult
It's
classic.
not unusual to be loved by anyone. So funny. Tom Jones over there, and the animals are like looking and like singing to the song. How stupid is this? I love Tim
I
Burton.
think
He's great.
I think Ken's next one's gonna be Spaceballs.
Don't
Yeah,
be-
Spaceballs was on my list too. It was like on my long list. It was
Brilliant.
on there, but like if I want to get
Brilliant.
more serious, District 9 I think is extremely underrated too.
On my top 3 alien films of all time.
Yes, I mean
It is
it's like it's
the-
cool to see about the.
My man, I love that you just picked that. That is such a
Yeah,
big
'cause
movie. That is the first movie I literally went home and Googled how to pirate a movie. I'm not joking around.
Really?
If
Wow.
the FBI was going to go, it's in my freaking history. I was so desperate to watch that movie again. I Googled how to pirate a movie because I knew people were doing it. I just didn't know what the hell it was.
Yeah,
It was too complicated and I didn't do it. But District 9 is a big one for me.
yep. And then Mad Max
That's
Fury
why
Road.
you're on the list.
Did you guys like? What's your feeling on District 9? Is it
I like District 9.
like
yeah,
currently like it's still
Top 3 of all time. I think it's genius.
really?
I love it.
Yeah.
I I saw it.
Oh my
I'm not
God,
even
it's-
sure I know
It's,
what
it,
movie
it
that is
seems
because,
slow
like,
paced when
3
you're
movies
watching
of
it,
the
but
same
it's
name
still
came
good.
out.
It's you just can't stop watching it. It's just very.
Because it's shot
good.
as almost like a documentary. Right?
It is. It's a
Yeah,
docu-
absolutely.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
It's
Like that of-
it's solid.
Also, too, is like that. Another one too is that. Oh my gosh, Cloverfield, I think, is extremely
man!
underappreciated too.
Wait, what are you doing? Are you hacking my list of favorite movies? Because
No.
this is literally there. That's another big one.
Yeah.
That's when movies they would come out at midnight. And I went to that
Yes.
screening with my brother at freaking midnight, so pumped. And the trailer was just bizarre as hell. It was just a freaking
You had
Statue
no
of
idea what it
Liberty.
was gonna be.
It was the
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty's head. This is when J.J. Abrams' monster of bizarre crap started. Oh my God. Yes, my man. I love that. And by the way, all of the sequels, except for 10 Cloverfield Lane, are garbage. Oh my God. They're so bad.
Yeah. No, 10 Cloverfield. It's the best way of like the scare tactic without even seeing what the threat is.
Yes.
Except at the very
so
few
good.
moments of the movie.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh my God. I love
But
this guy.
so
He's
well done.
literally pulling out some of my OG picks. Nicely done, Ken.
Yeah.
Holy
Thank you, dude. It's just like science fiction's like that's one of my jams. Is I love science fiction movies that make you think. Another one that's a guilty pleasure one is Spaceship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
I'm sorry, Starship
So
Troopers.
goofy. Have it memorized backwards and forwards. What's her name is smoking hot in it.
Yeah, Denise Richards.
Denise Richards.
In it, right?
Yep.
And Lance, you'd appreciate this too. We got this big giant Avengers book in this week about the history of the Avengers and the first 20 issues reprinted. And they talked about the history of Iron Man. And supposedly the influence was Iron Man was from the original armors that they wore in the original novel Starship Troopers that came out in 1959. And that's where the idea that Stan Lee took Iron Man from was from Spaceship Troopers armors. And I'm going,
I
that
have no
blows me.
idea.
I didn't even know Spaceship Troopers book was that old.
I didn't know either.
Kind of cool. So a little fun history
Wow.
about Iron Man there.
I know
I
what you're
think we
going
need to clarify something here because we all tried to correct Ken on that it was called Starship Troopers.
Wait,
Is
are you
Spaceship
talking about
Troopers
something different?
Something else?
Spaceship Troop.
No, Starship Troopers is what I was thinking of. Yeah,
Okay.
the big roaches that come invade the
Yes,
planets
okay.
and then all the people.
Oh,
Yes.
The
okay.
Starship Troopers, the army that goes out there to try to save the world from these
Okay.
dire wraith
Got
looking aliens that come down and just are invading planets. It was a fun movie for me growing up, and I even did one of my college projects. We had to make a commercial because I was a broadcast major, and I used elements from from Starship Troopers to integrate into my commercial for bug spray product called Brown Bag Bug Spray. And what it was like, do you have the problem with nagging bugs? And I had that scene where all the bugs come over the mountain at people. It's like, fear no more, Brown Bag Bug Spray will get rid of your problem. And just took the cut from that movie to put into my commercial for my college project, which was kind of hilarious. But
Are you guys
little
fans of the
Starship Troopers
Jetsons?
history.
Are you guys fans of the Jetsons?
I mean,
The cartoon, or was there a
Yeah.
movie they did actually?
No, the cartoon.
I mean, yeah.
When I
you
was
know,
a kid, I
Yeah.
watched it, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
call myself a fan.
But the Hanna-Barbera period, you would watch those
Yeah.
cartoons.
of course. When we
Yeah,
were
like the
kids.
See-
anti-Flintstone.
So can we do another episode where we talk about animated stuff? Because I've always wanted to ask you guys about that period. Because 90s animation is bizarre as hell. Ken has like Ghostbusters toys that he still has behind the counter for me from the late 90s.
Yes.
And I would love to talk about like 90s animation, Nickelodeon stuff.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like, did you
Yeah.
watch Nickelodeon or were you just Cartoon Network people? Did you
That
watch
was-
like the ones that
No, we
Sarah
watched-
likes,
I
Jimmy
think we watched
Neutron?
both, but like the only thing that
I
and
miss a
like
lot
I
of that
barely
stuff.
even collect it, but like the only thing I would go back as far as things I consider within that genre would be Power Rangers, and then even then only the Green and the White Ranger, and even then like I have what I have now, and like that's good
Okay.
enough, and I don't necessarily care to keep that
Yeah.
going.
And the
You
two
know what I
things I
mean?
really kept up from that era was the X-Men the animated series and the Spider-Man animated series. And
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Yes,
really keep up
those-
with too much other stuff because I was a big diehard Marvel.
I feel like
fan.
those like transcended though, you know, like cartoons of the generation just because they were such man, like
I'm-
you know, you had Spider-Man as Amazing Friends, right? But like that had so many like cool
Comic book
direct
stories.
stories
Mhm.
from the comic books, you know, like I feel like that was like a huge step forward for comic book based animations, you know. Yeah, anyway.
Sorry,
You guys
sorry
want
to
to think
sorry
of-
to detract you. I
No
was thinking about another future episode because you could do a whole different animation version on this.
Totally.
So
Totally.
I'm all done. Sorry to keep the show for long.
No, you're right.
I just want to
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say my honorable mention that Ken made me think of it, even though it's completely unrelated. But you made me think that I really like Detective Pikachu, and that
Yes!
as
Yeah, but that's
sci-fi.
science fiction, dude. That's totally science fiction.
It's totally science fiction. Yeah,
I just
Yeah.
saw
I mean,
that.
like,
I saw IGN post that meme the other day, and it makes me think about you. It says, "How have we canceled Batgirl and 5 other movies, but we haven't made a sequel to the one good freaking Pokemon movie that's ever been made?" And I'm always like, "That's what Blade says."
it was
Yes.
great, and like
Yeah.
I thought it set up. It totally set the stage for a cinematic universe, and they did it perfectly. Like that movie to me was like 99% perfect for a Pokemon
I love
live
that.
action
So
adaptation.
so really quick, I've been watching Pokemon with my daughter, and she loves Pokemon now, right? She loves Eevee.
Yeah, she sits on my laps and she watches me open Pokemon cards, and she has
That's
figured
cool.
out the dexterity to remove one card and put it in the back of the. It's incredible.
I love kids when they figure weird crap like that out. Yeah, okay.
So she loves Pokemon. She says Eevee, Grookey, Pikachu, all that stuff. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna show her the trailer to Detective Pikachu just to see how she would react to it.
Because you're a good dad.
And as soon as Pikachu comes on, she like looks at it and she's just like staring at it like, okay, like obviously it looks weird because it's not like an animation anymore. And it just starts talking, and she just like her eyes get like bugged out. She's like, "What the hell is?" Like she didn't like it at all. She was just like,
"No way!"
Not ready for that one yet.
No. And then they cut to a scene. She's like where like the other people hear it, and it's just saying Pikachu, and then she goes, "Oh, Pikachu," and then she was like, "Yeah, I'm done with this," and walks away.
Whoa!
I was just like, okay, yeah, I guess we need a couple years before you see that, because apparently you're like, nah, I like it as a show.
I know it's not the same thing, but do you think she has the same reaction with Sonic?
Well, she doesn't know anything about Sonic.
Because like little kids love those things, and Sonic is like.
But Sonic talks as a cartoon.
Oh right, I no, believe me, I get the difference. I'm just curious on a little kid because Lila didn't watch it, but she would have done the same thing. Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah, she was so
That's
funny.
hysterical.
She was just like, nah, I'm not about that.
One is not fitting in.
Yeah.
Fascinating. All right.
That's actually a good sign too. She'll like it down the road, Lance. Because with Kayla, I used to try to get her to watch football with me. So after every touchdown, I'd raise her arms and go touchdown, and she'd love it. And now she will not sit down and watch football with me at all. So you got a good sign. She's gonna be a big Pokemon fan down the road here.
You know what's funny though? She's gonna end up watching Detective Pikachu, right? And then when she gets older, she's gonna eventually watch Deadpool, and she's gonna be like, "That's Pikachu's voice."
There you go.
Oh yes, exactly. You go Deadpool, Pikachu underneath the mask, right?
Ken, does your daughter have like a twitch every time she hears the word touchdown? She just throws her arms up in the
I
air
wish, dude. I would
no
love to
apparent
see that,
reason.
dude. Yes, dude.
Touchdown!
Yeah, dude. She used to want to be like a cheerleader up until she turned 6. It was crazy. Put all this like, football and cheerleader stuff on, and next thing you know, is like, nope, don't want anything to do with football anymore. So it must have been like
That's fair.
some mean kid in some kind of grade school level that said, "F this," but this lady's a. She said, "I don't want to be a cheerleader anymore."
Oh my gosh.
Who knows?
Well, if you guys ever want to do a sideshow to this one with time travel, aliens, clones, monsters, anime, or whatever, I'm in, because I have a whole different list. This was a good list.
Totally, and
It's really open.
really fun. And you know what? I found a top 100 list that I scrolled while you guys were talking, and I was surprised what did not come up. that
2001:
would
A
have
Space
been-
Odyssey.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was the number one on this.
Yep.
On this dumb
Yeah.
list.
It's
A
which
movie
had-
that I've never seen that people tell me is great is Blade Runner. Have you guys seen
Yep.
Blade Runner? I've
I've
never
not seen it, but
Blade
I've
Runner.
seen parts of it, and it gave me nightmares as a 4-year-old.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
yeah.
my gosh, nightmares about mannequins.
Yep, that's
Wow. Okay,
yep.
I've never seen it, so I feel bad. I cannot.
Oh,
admit
you
to
never?
it.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it to completion. But like, I was in the room, and I was like, the mannequin like started flipping, and I literally would have nightmares about it, and like I would be scared. Like in Macy's, I would be like staring at the mannequins, like,
Yeah,
like oh
I
my
can
gosh, don't
imagine.
come to life and flip and chase me.
Both
That's
of
another
those,
movie
My goodness.
Both
with
of those
mannequins. I didn't
movies
even
are
think
on
about
my-
that. That's like
Yep.
I Am Legend had that mannequin scene too, right?
Yeah,
Where he talks
kind
with
of.
a mannequin inside the video store.
Yeah, he's obsessed with talking about
Mhm.
them. Yep. But
What are you doing?
2000.
No, the weird part was when there was the female mannequin. He was like shy to talk to her.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird. It
Oh,
was like,
it
man,
was
this guy's
cool,
losing
though.
his mind.
Yeah, of
He's
course.
losing his freaking mind.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's the point.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, but those
needed
were on my
emotional
list,
reaction.
Blade. 2001 was on my one for AI because Hal is the bad guy. But yeah,
I've never seen that movie either. 2001: A Space Odyssey. I saw that on that
Yeah,
number one.
I
I've
haven't
never
either.
seen the number one movie.
Yep. Yep.
Did you guys like The Martian
Right.
yes.
with Matt Damon? I think it
Uh,
was, right?
I like the book a
Oh,
lot.
never
I
saw
like
it.
the book a lot more than I like the movie. I'm not a Matt Damon fan.
Okay. I know it here. Because that was
Matt
one of
Damon.
the ones on my list.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Matt Damon? in
Isn't
it?
that Matthew McConaughey?
No, it's
No.
Matt Damon.
You're thinking of
What am I
Gravity.
thinking of?
What did you just
Gravity?
say? Yeah, you're wrong
That's
on
not what it's
Gravity
called.
too. Gravity's
No?
George Clooney.
Gravity is
George Clooney,
Oh,
Sandra
right.
Bullock.
I'm getting the name of the.
yeah, Sandra Bullock.
Are you talking about the meme one where he's crying? in outer
Yes, yes,
space?
that's what I. Yeah, that's not
Never
The
seen that
Martian.
one.
No,
No.
that's
The one where he's
Oh,
crying because he's watching his
Interstellar.
daughter's video.
Interstellar.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Interstellar,
that's-
okay.
By
And
Christopher
no one mentioned
Nolan.
And what
Sorry,
about The
that was like the
Matrix?
same
Nobody
name.
mentioned The Matrix. either.
No.
That was another one I was surprised that
Yep.
nobody
Yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah, that would be up there on my list too.
And then
Freaking-
Inception. I liked Inception too, but I
Yep.
didn't think it was one of my tops on there.
Yeah.
It was my favorite
Yeah.
movie of that year. It just didn't quite make
Yeah.
that top 5 or 3.
It's confusing the
just
heck out of me.
about
Like,
out of
which
time.
reality
Yeah, I
is
was
the
gonna
end?
say-
What
Wanna-
level?
Sorry, Blade. We've been talking
What
for
was-
a lot longer than we usually do.
No. This is perfect. Can you have one more that you really want to mention?
I think Total Recall is underrated as well too. That's another
That's
one
fair.
because
That's
I
fair.
kind of like Schwarzenegger didn't have to. I guess he did kind of play the tough guy as much, but he had to kind of figure out what the heck's going on. He wasn't super like I'm Arnie. He had to kind of like what the hell's going on in my world here, and is anything real in here? And then to find out that it was all in his head was kind of a fun adventure to, better than the Running Man at least on that, I would say. But I had a lot
Okay.
of fun watching Total Recall. Plus Sharon Stone was in it, and that's always a good thing.
You guys a fan of
Back in that
RoboCop?
time. I did have RoboCop on my list too, as well. That
Blade?
it didn't make the
Matt?
count to my 10, but
You know,
RoboCop was fun.
There was a brief period of time as a kid. I saw
Okay.
the movie and there was like a cartoon. But like beyond that,
Okay. Not your thing. Okay.
Pacific
It's-
Rim I put on the list. Thought that was kind of
Oh
fun.
man, that would be a good one under sci-fi for the Del
Never
Toro
saw it.
list. Yeah,
Yeah.
good one. One of my favorite filmmakers
I'm
of all
almost
time.
surprised nobody mentioned Transformers, although I don't think much of the films.
It's,
I mean, I like
it's
all
on
of
the
them.
list. Yeah.
But not as high
But-
up as these other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another one that's not on anybody's list, I think, or would be on anybody's list, but I really had a fun time watching was Wild Wild West because the steampunk element
Oh my
of
god.
it was really kind of fun because I'm going, I love like
Oh
alternate
my
realities
goodness.
of technology taking different directions. And the steampunk element of the Wild West was kind of a fun, I think, twist of storytelling that, you just don't see very often done. Steampunk, I think, is very hard to execute. And I thought Wild Wild West was that Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith again? Or was it
Yes.
someone else
It
with
was
Will Smith?
and-
No, it
Will
was
Smith and
not.
someone
It
else, I
was Kevin Kline. And I'm just
Kevin
gonna
Kline. Okay.
and just so any listeners know, when you go to IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes and you go look at the score and you see it has a 1%, that 1% is from Ken. Because I've never heard anybody say they like that
So
movie.
I'm saying
Ken,
no one
I
has it on their
Yeah.
list,
I love
but I
that.
enjoyed the
That's
movie.
hilarious. I love that.
Yeah,
We
man.
all have that weird oddball one. I've
Yeah.
never heard anybody say they like Wild West.
Yeah, Wild Wild West
I
was
remember
fun. dude.
watching it as a kid in the movie theater, and I was like, "Wow, that was a bad film."
Yeah, it was. And the stupid
As a
song.
kid.
Do you remember they made the
Yeah,
song
Wow, wow.
Please, dude.
Wow, wow.
just like the Men in Black song? Wild West. Man, I can't even do the rest of it, but you're right. You had it right there. Oh my god.
Wild
So
Wild
stupid.
West. Tone Loc, right?
Yep.
so silly.
Sorry, Blade.
I think no, that was. I'm glad we stuck around for Wild Wild West.
I
That was,
Says
told
no-
you it's on nobody's list. But
Says no
that was a
listener
good
ever.
one.
Yes.
This was
My
this
street
was
cred
quite
is out the
roller
window.
coaster. Yeah.
It's a piece of paper
But,
on someone's car.
But that concludes our favorite sci-fi lists that are not Star Wars and Star Trek. if you guys felt like we missed anything that might be on your list, let us know. We're at Nightcap Chat. We're Nightcap Chat on Facebook and Twitter, and Nightcap_chat on Instagram. And if you're enjoying the shows, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends about it. Because as we grow our viewership, that's what's gonna keep us going, here. So don't forget to share, tell your friends about it. Anybody who might like nonsense, this is the podcast for them. Ken.
Yeah, you guys, don't ever be afraid of your Wild Wild West. This is Ken from Comics. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you guys, our website, drawntocomics.com, and of course in downtown Glendale. What's that address, Blade?
5801 West Glendale Avenue on the corner of 58th Avenue and Glendale Avenue in downtown Glendale, Arizona.
Thank you very much, guys, and appreciate being back on the show with you guys, dude.
You can catch me on Twitch and Instagram at Tales of Lance. And yeah, that's about it.
Is Lance's crystal ball officially dead or no? You haven't made a decent prediction now in like 16 months. I think
I just did. I just said Fortnite.
Well, then you better freaking post it.
I did make a recent prediction. What was my most recent prediction, Blade? Oh my god.
Well, something I said came true.
That the Dow would go up 200 points.
No.
I'm hilarious.
The thing. What I said regarding something with the new Pokemon games was exactly correct. Come on, what was it? I just texted it to you.
All of this sounds so made up.
See, I called it.
Oh, the motorcycles.
The motorcycle, yes, the legendaries are motorcycles.
Oh, and I said, I thought I said something too that came true about not going in order for the gym badges. But now we're doing a whole nother episode.
They did say that. Anyway, yeah.
Also, Black Cat, I keep on hearing getting closer and closer that she's going to be appearing in the Craven movie now, is the newest rumor I heard. Did you see that?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
A little part of Lance's soul just died.
Her comics gone through the roof. It's like...
It has. So something's coming for her. I mean, she's going to be showing up somewhere.
Well...
And Ryan Reynolds.
Ugh. I'm kind of done with Ryan Reynolds. I am Steve. Check us out on the rest of the channels. I don't know, Blade, what do I say? The Newsroom and Ink and Paint, because we have both of them fresh episodes. Go check out the Newsroom. Steve-O delivers a good episode and covers all of the nonsense that happened at Comic-Con, the stuff that they don't want to talk about.
And Yucky Way appraisals for appraisal pop culture nonsense.
It is appraisal pop culture nonsense. I've never thought about that before. Yeah, you're right.
That's exactly what it is.
Well, I mean, I just like saying it on here. It's such a horrible plug. Go check my real estate page out. How about you just go check out everything that Blade, Lance, and Ken do?
I'll give you a horrible
I forgot to make one mention, too, of something.
Okay.
No, do you want me to stop? I'll stop. I won't do it.
No,
I won't
it
do
was
it.
what Lance said.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
You hurry up and let's move on from what Lance said.
Okay.
What did you say it, Ken?
Okay. Well, on August 17th, next Thursday, or next Wednesday, actually, DC artist Mitch Gerads is going to be making a appearance at the shop. He has worked on comics like Mr. Miracle, Batman, and Strange Adventures. And he, unexpectedly reached out to us and asked would be interested in showcasing his work. And I said, absolutely. So if you guys get a chance, come down and swing by and meet Mitch Gerads at Drawn to Comics Wednesday, August 17th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
And that's again at 5801 West Glendale Avenue on 58th Avenue and Glendale Avenue in downtown Glendale, Arizona. And I'm Blade O'Neill, and you can catch me and all my voiceover and producer shenanigans on Facebook. Facebook at Blade oh my gosh. On Instagram and Twitter at Blade O'Neill, all one word, and Blade O'Neill VO on Facebook. There we go. I've done this before. But we appreciate you all taking the time to listen. We love you. Be safe, and we'll catch you all next week.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.